Hey there, Pisces. How are you today? My name is Sherilyn, and I'm here to do your weekly tarot reading. This one is going to be just a basic spread. We're just going to pull a basic spread, see what Spirit wants to talk about, and then we'll go from there, right? Okay. Sounds like a plan. Alrighty. Get the blue guy going. That's better. Okay, here we go. For Pisces, Pisces. That silly guy makes me laugh. Okay, here we go. For Pisces. Okay, what are we starting with? Where are we at? The Empress. Okay, great energy. There you go. I like it. Empress to what? To the Queen of Cups. Okay. To the Two of Pentacles. So this is your backstory. Your backstory is that you're presenting as the Empress. Okay, so you're all the queens rolled into one. So that being said, you can pull whatever queen you need to at whatever time you need to. You can step into that persona, right? Looks like in the recent past, you were stepping into the Queen of Cups, which is great. I mean, it means you're very nurturing, very loving, very maternal, very intuitive. You have an enormous amount of empathy for other people. Sometimes that can be a bit of a problem because you can, I don't know, you can do it to an extreme where it ends up hurting you rather than helping, right? But at any rate, well, that's a different story, okay? The other part is you have somewhat of a hard time holding up your boundaries sometimes. Because in the name of love, you just don't want to fight. So, you know, if you care about somebody, you will let them not always treat you so great, which is not necessarily where we want you to be at as far as that goes. But other than that, it's a great spot to be in. So in the recent past, it looks like you were sitting in the Queen of Cups. Sorry, the challenge was you could not find a sense of balance. There was just a sense of imbalance for some reason in your life. You were trying to keep trying to juggle too many things at once. By that, I'm not saying that you were juggling people. I'm talking about you juggling, work and home and friends and I don't know, whatever you got going on. It was all overwhelming to you. It's like you were overwhelmed. Too much going on, okay? So you couldn't find a sense of peace is what it was. Balance and peace. Okay, that's the backstory. So where are we at currently? Currently, I have you at the Two of Wands, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Swords. Okay, so the card at the center of your entire read, once we get all the cards out, is going to be the Four of Cups. So from almost every direction, this plays into the equation. Four of Cups speaks of you being very much so dissatisfied, disappointed, disillusioned, like something has not played out the way that you wanted it to. You feel like you've played by the rules and something has not worked out the way that you expected it to, okay? So it's very disappointing. It's caused you to be somewhat disillusioned. That's where I have you as far as that's in the center. Okay, Two of Wands would say that you're currently at some sort of crossroads. It's time for you to make some sort of decision here. And it's a decision that will greatly influence your life, okay, affect your life, because it's picking a path for which direction you want to go. However, it's not a decision that has a right and wrong answer, okay? It's just different variations of things, you know what I'm saying? At any rate, you're at some crossroads where you have to make that decision, which from the cards up top, I'll say probably looks like it's stressing you out. It's probably overwhelming to you, partially because you're already overwhelmed with everything else, right? So that's adding to it. The challenge here is the Page of Swords. So the challenge is you trying to gain clarity through indirect means. So instead of going at this problem head on, asking the hard questions or trying to find the hard answers, you're just trying to you're trying to gain the clarity that you need to make these decisions, but you're doing it through very indirect means versus asking the people or situations you need to ask directly. Okay, so it's making it all just seem more overwhelming for you. All right, let's keep going. What do we have in the near future? Okay, we've got Temperance, the Fool, and the Queen of Wands. Okay, so Temperance is about patience, balance, healing. So that's what's going to, once you make this decision, I feel like you will step into a sense of balance and patience, balance and healing. The patience is you needing to be patient with yourself, I suppose. Okay. So hopefully as soon as you make this decision, it will alleviate the bulk of the stress and overwhelmed feelings you have. The Fool card down here is all about you taking a leap of faith towards something. So I guess once you make the decision, you know which direction you're going in, so you can then take this leap of faith. And the Queen of Wands is the challenge here. So the Queen of Wands is somebody who can get whatever it is that they want. In the challenge position, it would say that I feel like things that you want, you're still going to get them, but I feel like they're delayed. There's something about you needing patience. Like you're used to getting what you want right now, or you're used to, I don't know, something like that. Like you're basically used to getting what you want right now. And instead they're trying to teach you patience here. So you're still going to get what you want, but it's going to take longer than you had anticipated. And it's all about trying to teach you how to work with that, is what I feel like is the lesson they're trying to teach you. So the upside is you're still getting what you want. But on the downside, it looks like it's taking longer than you want it to. Okay, King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Hermit. King of Cups. Weren't you the Queen of Cups up there? So this is divine counterpart. Ten of Pentacles and the Hermit. The Hermit card, I feel like you're in hermit mode to some extent, especially when it comes to situations of the heart. Meaning, I don't think you're putting yourself out there. So I feel like it's possible that there's a divine counterpart out there for you, but you're not going out and about to try to meet them, right? Like you're not putting yourself in a position where you can run into them or meet them. Right? I mean, maybe it's the pizza delivery guy, so if you order pizza, it might be that guy, but it's probably not that guy. Probably you have to put yourself out there. And you're not doing that. You don't have to. I mean, if you don't want to find somebody, then you don't have to put yourself out there. But if you intend to find somebody, it feels like you need to at least put yourself out there somehow. Okay, what else do we got? The Chariot, the Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. So it's like you're so overwhelmed with everything else you got going on in your life right now, whatever that is, that even when opportunities in love come towards you, you just can't, it's like you can't juggle one more ball. You just can't add more in. So there's definitely something here about you having to learn to be patient, but the other part is you're having to learn to manage your stress or something. Because you can't go through life just constantly overwhelmed. That's not going to be a very pleasant experience, right? So it's all about you trying to figure out how to better manage this stress. Because Nine of Swords is here again, so this is all about you being like anxiety-ridden and having all this stress that you can't compartmentalize, or you can't, I don't know, there's something about you not being very well equipped to manage the stress. And so that's what they're trying to help you with. And the only way to help you is to teach you how to do it. And to teach you how to do it, you kind of have to have it, right? So you have to get through it, I feel like. Okay. All right, let's see what you got for the days. I don't know. Monday, I've got the Nine of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So you're feeling very alone, but yet you're standing firmly in your independence. So if you're standing firmly in your independence and you don't want to, I don't know, let that go, then, that does render you alone at times. Most people that are truly independent don't have a problem with that. They figure out how to be okay with being alone. So it's kind of you got to pick a side, is what it feels like. Okay, Tuesday, I have you with the Nine of Wands and the Tower. So you're feeling quite wounded about some kind of a tower that's fallen. Something you thought was solid enough to build on has obviously crumbled beneath you or something. Okay, Wednesday, I've got you Ten of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. So there's something here about reciprocity. So it's like you did your part and put in what you were supposed to, and then when it was time for somebody else to put in what they were supposed to, they're not. And so it feels like a betrayal to you. It's a lack of reciprocity. Okay, Thursday, what you got? King of Wands and the Eight of Cups. This is you walking away from a way of thinking, but it's like a way, I feel like it's a way of thinking. Maybe for some of you it's a person, but the way of thinking is like that you don't want to be tied down, that you don't want something to build onto. If it's a person, it's somebody who didn't want to be tied down or didn't want commitment. I don't know, I see you walking away from that way of thinking. Okay? That's what I got for you. These are not huge, devastating lessons that they're trying to teach you, but I mean, I'm sure they feel like they are to you right this second. And so you just got to get to the other side of them, and then your life will ease up. I feel like it will. It's just going to take a little longer to get what you want, but you're still going to get what you want, okay? That's what I see for you. Okay, Pisces? I hope this helps somehow. Hang in there. Okay.